Damn, that's good. All right, guys, welcome to this really streamlined camera review about the GFX100s from Fujifilm. I've been having the camera in my hands for about 2 weeks now, and I just want to give you guys my first impressions, the pros and cons from having shot with it and filmed with it. All right, here we go. So, first of all, I want to say, like, a lot of people talk about the form factor of the camera, like it was a huge deal. This is my first middle format camera ever, so I'm basically, you know, a dedicated Canon guy up until this camera. I've been having, you know, ever since the 5D Mark II, the 5D Mark III, the 5D Mark IV, the 5DS, and so on, and the EOS R. I've had so many Canon cameras. Basically love the image quality of them, but still, when this camera was released, I was instantly drawn to it because of the things that were being said about it. Obviously the resolution appealed to me, and I always want to get better resolution. And I wasn't really that interested in the film aspect of the camera, since I have an Arri Alexa that this is being shot on, so I don't really need like to up my game in terms of videography that much, but it's always interesting, obviously, to have a nice camera that I could use as a B camera or such. Anyway, back to this camera, and I'm using it now with my only lens that I have. It's the I don't even know what it's called. It's the 80mm 1.7 RWR, something like that, and this is the combo I'm using at the moment. Some of the things I really want to say, like the form factor for me, is just like holding a DSLR. It's no difference. It's slightly more heavy, and you know, if you have an issue with that, this camera is made to shoot like gigantic pictures. So if you want to go out on the town and just shoot some photos, you know, bring a lighter camera, obviously. This is a professional middle format camera, and for me the form factor is not an issue at all. I love holding it in my hand. I love the weight of it, actually. In terms of shooting, I'm so blown away by the picture quality. Literally, the shots, and it's almost like, you know, I just set up a very simple lighting, just try the lighting, and I go like, oh my God, this image is just beautiful in every aspect of it. I love how it handles the colors. I love how it handles the depth. And I'm just in love with the image I can get out of this camera. That's all I have to say. If you have any, you know, thoughts about, you know, the image quality, I love it. And it's sharp. It's so sharp, and sharp in a good way, because I've been trying out Nikon cameras in my history of, you know, loving cameras. And I think, I mean, obviously they're sharper than Canon, but they're sharp in a way that makes me sort of lose this organic feeling that I'm always after. So for me, Nikon was never an option, because I think that the sharpness in those images take away that organic feeling. And in this case, the sharpness is just totally 100% integrated in that organic feeling that I'm looking for. But my biggest surprise was actually shooting video with it. And I used it on a production quite recently. It's just a corporate production, you know, interviews, guys talking, basic corporate stuff. And I wanted to try it out, and I shot in 4K internally into the camera, and I used the log setting, so I got a really flat image out. And then, this is just a tip, in Resolve, DaVinci Resolve, I just took that footage, basically applied my, there is something called like a gamma correction effect that you can use. You can Google this, and I just applied a gamma correction, and I took the timeline settings from this camera and just told DaVinci to put an Arri log C gamma curve on it, and then I graded it like Arri to Rec 709 and made some minor adjustment, and the footage was just looking amazing, amazingly sharp, amazingly filmic. I just loved it, and the client actually said like, oh my God, this is like, I've never seen you shoot footage like this. This was amazing footage. So everyone was super happy about that, and I'm super happy about having a great B camera to film with. So that's it. And a few things that actually was a positive surprise was the Fuji app that you can download from the App Store. And I mean, I've tried this out with the Canon system. Just having a nice remote you know, shutter control. If you're rigging your camera for a top shot in the, you know, high up, you want to have a remote trigger so you don't have to touch it. Or you're using like really long shutter speeds. You want to remotely push, and it's so easy. I just turn on the camera. I basically open my app. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is. It looks for the Bluetooth for like, I don't know, not long normally. And we're up and running. And now I can just use this little button and I'm taking a photo. So it's so fast. Once you connected the camera to the mobile or the cell phone, it remembers all the settings. So you just open the app, boom, they pair up and you can start shooting with a remote. I love the simplicity of this app. Have some light issues, but you know what? We don't care about that. Okay, so these were the, you know, obviously you guys can tell that I'm very impressed with this camera in all aspects of it. The one things I want to say that kind of surprised me is that you don't actually get a battery charger to go with the camera. You have to literally put a little USB-C cable into the camera while the camera battery is in the camera to charge the battery. So the camera itself becomes the battery charger, which I think is kind of useless. Because if you have multiple batteries, you can only charge them one at a time in the camera. You can get a battery charger, they're like $90, but you don't get one in the actual box, which is weird for me. The other thing that sucks with the camera, obviously, and I don't even have to tell you this, is the HDMI output. That's like one of these mini ones. They suck so much, I can't even begin to tell you guys. I mean, if you breathe on them while you have a monitor attached, they're gonna flicker, which makes like a recording, like last time I tried it, the recording clip got cut up into like 82 clips because there was a constant glitch in this HDMI cable. So I just used the internal recording, which was fine, because it was, you know, it was just impossible to work with. So for a reference monitor, this glitching might not seem like a big deal because you can see what's going on. But to record to an external recorder, having your clip get, you know, divided up to like 80 clips instead of one is a nightmare. And I don't recommend it. They do provide this little weird thing that you can actually screw on so that you protect the actual connection of the HDMI. I haven't tried how much of a difference that makes. Because I mean, as soon as this little camera strap was in contact with the cable just lightly, I had glitching. So it's not ideal. But you know what? For me, it's primarily a superb stills camera. I love the stills and I love the internal video quality as well. If you bump it up to like the full quality in log. So for you guys that are still unsure, I strongly recommend this camera for all purposes. Thank you very much for listening and have a good day.